So unit 4 deals with drugs acting on CNS, central nervous system. Fine. So both unit 4 as well as unit 5, both will deal with drugs acting on CNS. So let us see what all are there. So in unit 4, you need to learn about sedatives and hypnotics. Anyone knows? This is one part. What is a sedative? First part is sedatives and hypnotics. What is the use or what do you know about sedatives or hypnotics? Okay. First part is sedatives and hypnotics. The second part of unit 4 is antipsychotics. Antipsychotics. They are also called as tranquilizers. Tranquilizers. So antipsychotics are called as tranquilizers. And there is another subpart we need to learn under unit 4, that is anticonvulsants. Okay, so if you know anything about any of these terms, please let me know how much you know. Sedative is a drug that induces calmness, okay, and hypnotic which induces sleep. Okay, the high dose of sedative produces hypnotic effects. Am I clear? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So the central nervous system related disorders are discussed here. There are three in unit 4, and there are some other topics in unit 5. Okay, 4. So sedative is a drug which induces calmness. Calmness. Hypnotics induces sleep. When do we need calmness or sleep? When our mind is very much agitated, or we are experiencing anxiety, or when our mind is not stable. Okay, in such conditions we need calmness. Okay, during so many central nervous system related disorders, we observe there is an anxiety, unsettled mind as common symptoms. In such cases, we give sedatives, and depending on the severity, we give hypnotics. Okay, both are somewhat interchangeable when it comes to the dose considerations. Then we have antipsychotics, and there is another CNS disorder known as psychosis. Okay, to treat such psychosis related issues, we use antipsychotics. There we can also call them as tranquilizers. Tranquilizers. Please do remember other name. And the third one is anticonvulsants. You know, the general term for them in our society is fits. Okay, convulsions. So there will be rapid firing of neurotransmitters and neurons in the central nervous systems that make our kinetic parts of body. Okay, skeletal muscles will be rapidly moving. Okay, in such conditions, convulsions will be the manifestation. So there are various types of convulsions. Okay, please go refer to the KD Tripathi textbook of medical pharmacology for the types of convulsions. Okay, and schizophrenia is one among them. Okay, schizophrenia is one of the type of convulsions, and we have here mild, moderate, and severe conditions. Based on them, they were classified into many groups, like tonic-clonic seizures is one of the examples. So these are the three categories of drugs we need to learn under Unit 4. One is sedative and hypnotics. The second one is antipsychotics or tranquilizers. And the third one is anticonvulsants. Okay. So what we learn in Unit 5? In Unit 5, we learn about general anesthetics, general anesthetics. What is anesthetic? Morphine and related drugs. Morphine and you'll know what is morphine and its related drugs. Here we'll see narcotic analgesics, and narcotic antagonists. Okay, so what is general anesthetic? What is anesthesia? What do you know about anesthesia? When do we use anesthesia? General anesthesia is like inducing unconsciousness, right? We use certain compounds to induce unconsciousness so that the pain during surgeries can be overcome. Okay, so during painful surgeries, we induce anesthesia so that patient doesn't feel the pain. Okay, those are general anesthetics. There is another category called local anesthetics. Local anesthetics means if you ever went to the dentist, if you or some of you know, your known persons undergone some tooth picking, tooth plucking out. Okay, in such conditions, okay, or root canal related treatments kind of things, anesthesia, the dentist will give you a local anesthetic. He will inject you into your gum, and your whole lower jaw will be senseless. Okay, that is local anesthetic. That means that anesthesia is very much localized. Okay, very much confined to the area around the site of injection. Okay, site of administration. That is local anesthetics. So general anesthetics will induce anesthesia to whole body. Okay, so while we are discussing general anesthetics here, why don't we discuss about local anesthetics here itself? Because local anesthetics will not act by modifying central nervous system. Okay, only general anesthetics have effect on CNS. Please do remember this difference. Local anesthetics will not affect central nervous system. General anesthetics, general anesthesia is produced by modifying the central nervous system process. Okay, so we discuss general anesthetics here, but not local anesthetics. Then morphine. Morphine is used since our ancient days for the relievement of our pain. Okay, analgesia means the drug, the process which evades or eases of the pain is known as analgesia, and the drugs which are used to produce a relief from the pain is called analgesic. Okay, so there are two types of analgesics. One is narcotic, other one is non-narcotic. Okay, so narcotic analgesics are related to morphine, and non-narcotic analgesics are NSAIDs. We call them as NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Okay, so we learn about general anesthetics, morphine and morphine related drugs, and NSAIDs. NSAIDs means non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So morphine was used to alleviate the pain during the surgeries. There was no sophisticated knives also in those days. They used to perform a sharp carved rocks. They used to perform surgery with such sharp rocks itself. Okay, there used to be the chance of septic. Okay, but in order to relieve the pain, they used to take morphine in various forms. Morphine is a steroidal ring. So I'll give you the basic structure of a steroid that is involved in morphine. So remember this big structure with some differences of double bonds and triple bonds here and there having OH and all. Okay, like this is a steroid ring. Okay, so what happening instead not by providing a pain relief, it is also having some side effects. What are they? Morphine is making the person who is using the morphine to depend on it. So dependency is the major problem. Getting addicted to morphine after the surgery or after the pain relief also, he is continuing to depend on morphine itself. Okay, so that is the reason we want. So we want analgesic effect of morphine, but we don't want the dependency and other related side effects of morphine. So what we do, we have taken the structure of morphine, we have started dissecting each part of the steroid molecule and came to conclusion which part of the molecule is responsible for producing pain relieving effect and which part of the chemical structure is responsible for producing other side effects, dependency and all. Okay, so what we did after finding out which part of the morphine ring is responsible for analgesic effect, we started synthesizing them in laboratory as NSAIDs. Okay, so non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as over-the-counter drugs. You know, aspirin is one of the most common example. Aspirin, okay, paracetamol, diclofenac, aceclofenac. All these are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So what are narcotic antagonists? Narcotic antagonists are the drugs which are used to treat narcotic poisoning. If you have taken narcotic analgesics in overdose, and in order to treat such overdosing, we'll use narcotic antagonists. So these are the things we learn in Unit 5. Okay, so this is what we are going to learn about drugs acting on central nervous system in both Unit 4 as well as Unit 5. So we are very much concerned with Unit 4 only for now. So Unit 4, we are going to deal with three topics, that is sedatives and hypnotics. Second one is antipsychotics or tranquilizers. Third one is anticonvulsants. So let's get started with sedatives and hypnotics. Sedatives and hypnotics. As a first step, let us see the Classification of sedative and hypnotics. It is classified into benzodiazepines, barbiturates, and miscellaneous. Benzodiazepines. Okay. Second one is barbiturates. Barbiturates are the derivatives of barbituric acid. Under this you have long duration of action, intermediate duration of action, and short duration of action. Long duration of action, intermediate, short. We have ultra short acting also, but we don't have that in our syllabus. But for your knowledge, I am including it. Then the third category is miscellaneous. Under this you have amides and imides, amides and imides, alcohol and their carbamate derivatives, alcohol and their carbamate means what? C double bond O NH2, right? Carbamate derivatives. And the last one is aldehyde and their derivatives. Aldehyde and their derivatives. So you have these classes under the classification for sedatives and hypnotics. As usual, I have tailored the drugs to be included in the classification as per our syllabus. So let us see the examples for each class. So first one is benzodiazepines. Examples include chlordiazepoxide, chlordiazepoxide, diazepam, oxazepam, chlorazepate, lorazepam, alprazolam, zolpidem. So these are the examples under benzodiazepines. So you have to remember the general structure of benzodiazepines and compare the moieties. So let us assume that chlordiazepoxide will have a benzodiazepine ring. Every drug will have benzodiazepine as the basic skeleton. And in chlordiazepoxide, you must be having oxide, oxygen, and chlorine atom. Let us assume now and check later when we deal with the chemical structures. Okay, whether it is true. Diazepam will be having a basic structure of benzodiazepine. Oxazepam will be having some extra oxygen. Chlorazepate. So there is some modification in carboxylate or carboxylic acid related functional group. Lorazepam. We here we are unable to guess it. Okay, because it is looking somewhat some common name, alprazolam and zolpidem. So these are the things. So these are the examples under benzodiazepines. Then you have barbiturates. Under barbiturates, for long duration of action, the examples you have barbital, barbital, phenobarbital, mephobarbital. These three are the examples. So barbital will be the basic structure. Phenobarbital means phenyl ring will be having. Mepho means methyl and phenyl. Two substances might be present. We are just assuming for now. Okay. Then we have intermediate barbiturates having intermediate duration of action. Examples include amobarbital. See, all are barbitals. This class of drugs are very easy to remember. Butabarbital. Amo will have amyl group, a 5-membered carbon chain, amo. So try to learn, explore what is amyl group. Butabarbital will have butyl group. Okay, these two are the examples for barbiturates having intermediate duration of action. Then you have the examples for barbitals which have short duration of action. What are they? Pentobarbital and secobarbital. Pentobarbital and secobarbital. So these are the examples under barbiturates. Second category. And although it is not mentioned in your syllabus, you have ultra short acting barbiturate, that is thiopental. You should be aware of it. Thiopental is the drug which is ultra short acting. Okay. So these are the drugs. Barbiturates, you have long duration of action, intermediate duration of action, and short duration of action. Examples for long: barbital, phenobarbital, mephobarbital. Intermediate duration of action: amobarbital, butabarbital. Drugs: barbiturates having short duration of action, pentobarbital, secobarbital. Okay, thiopental is the ultra short acting barbiturate. Then under miscellaneous, we have first one, that is amide and imides. Amide and imides. Only one example, that is glutethamide. 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 So glutethamide. And the second category is alcohol. Alcohol and corresponding carbamate derivative. Example: meprobamate, and ethchlorvinol. Ethchlorvinol. So try to guess what functional groups would be there from the name. And we'll check while we deal with our chemical structures. And the third and last category is aldehyde and their derivatives. Aldehyde and their derivatives. Example, triclophos sodium, paraldehyde. So these are the examples. For amides and imides, you have glutathione. Alcohol and their carbamide derivatives, you have meprobamate and ethchlorvinol. For aldehyde and their derivatives, you have triclophos sodium and paraldehyde. So this is the classification of sedatives and hypnotics. So we saw what all are the drugs